Let's do it.
Let's do
Welcome
this.
to On the Chain.
Han
This
the
is
Chain.
Jeff here with Han.
Is this
On the
Han
Chain.
Solo?
This is
This
Han the Chain.
Han the Chain. That's a new one. Han.
On the
Hello.
Chain.
That's like Han
Hello, this is
Solo.
On the Chain. This is Jeff here with co-host
Chip.
Chip. What's going on, Chip?
It's like Han's loaded. It's like Han loaded the chain. Han the Chain.
Hans. Hey,
Well,
big
Jake,
shout out to Hans Loaded. But Chip, Ripple XRP, Miami. Did you know Miami is cashing in huge, cashing in big on the crypto, and the SEC just continues to hammer the innovation here in the United States. But man, there's some real positive news on the Ripple and the XRP front, so we're looking forward to getting into that. Chip, man, there's a lot going on, a lot every day.
A lot going on. Let's get started. Let's get into it. Let's jump in, shall we?
Let's go. Let's kick this thing off.
Welcome to On the Chain.
Oh, man. Magic.
It is magic, Jeff. It's pure magic. And so another thing that I want to tease a little bit, remember Brian Brooks, who was so amazing at the at the OCC.
Brian Brooks was awesome.
He was awesome. Well, we're going to get into somebody that the Biden administration wants to nominate, and it's like Gensler on steroids. So let's
say it ain't so.
Another academic, another do nothing, another know nothing.
How do you tap all these academics to do stuff of importance?
They've never done anything, Jeff. They don't live in the real world. They live in fantasy world with their fantasy ideas and their fun little.
I would say about 98 to 99% of academia is just that. They're just academia, right? They just kind of exist, and they learn from other people and regurgitate information. Ever so often write a paper. And then there's that 1 to 2% that actually get out and do stuff.
Oh, that's true. I want to start off tonight with just a quick thought. This is from Ryan Sean Adams, who runs a really nice podcast. He puts up some really thought-provoking stuff, but I love the angle on this. Imagine if there was a website regulator who demanded everyone ask permission before creating a website, but then provided no guidelines on what they would approve or deny, except by referencing the newspaper laws written in the 1930s. And if you get it wrong, they sue.
Oh man, that is so.
That's pretty much it in a nutshell, right?
That is so spot on. Holy cow, that's awesome. A website czar.
A website czar. It's like you've gotten it wrong. I'm sorry, you've made a mistake. Full stop. Full stop. What are you doing creating these websites? Don't you know you're not supposed to create websites? I just referenced 1930s newspaper laws.
Your logo is supposed to be 1/3 of the segment of the top footer or the top header, and you can over whatever and whatever.
But that just points out the absolute 100% absurdity of how ridiculous it is. But Jeff, you cited this in the very beginning, top of the hour here. This is some really phenomenally interesting news. I find this super interesting. Bhutan advances financial inclusion and sustainability with Ripple's CBDC solution.
Ooh,
hello.
I like it. Where's Bhutan?
Jeff, you'll have to pull it up on a map. But today we're proud to announce this is Ripple saying Bhutan's central bank, the Royal Monetary Authority, better known as the RMA, will use Ripple's CBDC solution to pilot a central bank digital currency in phases. So the move is driven by the nation's desire to enhance digital and cross-border payments, expand financial inclusion, the rest, blah, 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 right? And then they go on to their commitment is to sustainability only in a carbon negative country in the world. So that's one of the things that, if you look at it that way, it's a pretty much a solid fit for Ripple. And, they tick all the boxes, right? And over the past few years.
Look at that scenery.
It looks nice, right?
Yeah, it's the one in the valley, man. It goes right through Bhutan.
Yeah, right through Bhutan there. It's beautiful.
It's just east of Nepal and north of Bangladesh.
Well, there you go. So over the past few years, RMA established itself as a leader, building atop the country's payment infrastructure and capabilities. This new initiative will tap Ripple's CBD solution to support a seamless retail, cross-border, wholesale payment, and use cases for the digital. And I'm not even going to try to say that, Jeff. I don't even know. Nagrum? I don't know. But anyway, I guess that's their version of their fiat currency, right? It'll be the CBDC. The RMA believes that a faster, more affordable payments, both domestically and internationally, will help its goal of increasing the financial inclusion by 85%. So, I mean, I'm just curious what their financial inclusion is right now. If they're looking to get it up in 1 year, basically about a year and a half, to get it to 85%. So they must have some pretty solid inclusion at that, Jeff.
Well, it's exciting. You know, it's in a country never heard of. So we learned something new today, and we even learned the pronunciation because XX is it's Bhutan.
All right, thank you for that, Bhutan. I like Bhutan, but Bhutan.
Bhutan is good too.
And Jeff, it's a sustainable CBDC. Ripple's commitment to sustainability important for Bhutan.
Giving them the Bhutan.
For Bhutan, CBDC solutions carbon neutral, and because it's based on the public XRP ledger, 120,000 times more energy efficient than proof of work blockchains, and that's a little tiny dig at our pal Bitcoin, but. For a country to pledge to remain carbon neutral, the combination of innovative finance with sustainability. But here's the best part, Jeff: a private ledger for central banks. Do you remember when Ripple was talking with Saudi Arabia, and they're like, "Hey, man, we can't have all these clients. We can't have this stuff public." And that's when they said, like, "Well, we'll just create a private ledger. Why don't we do that?" So the solution is going to leverage a private ledger version of their public open source XRPL. Core technology is, pretty much the same, but again, it's going to be private. Obviously, they want to protect, it's centralized digital currency, right? Central bank digital currency.
Yeah, it's still a central currency.
And like the XRPL, it's money moving through the Ripple CBD solution. It's cost effective, reliable, but again, this just goes to show you. I mean, Jeff, Ripple's on the move. They haven't slowed. Nothing stopped.
Nothing stopped them.
They don't care. They're like
not even Daddy G.
Yeah, good old Daddy G Gensler, man, and Daddy G is up to his old tricks again too. Which
hey, before you do that, just to prove that this whole article in the CBDC is legit, because Bhutan is legit, right?
Bhutan. Yeah, apparently it's called Bhutan,
but we don't know that for a fact. So
we don't know that, but we don't know that. But I don't tend to.
I don't believe anything I read on the internet.
I trust our audience.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah. Well, look, it disappeared. Maybe it's not real. Oh, there it is.
It's real. It's just the size of that type right there. That's it. That's the whole country.
That's it. It's just that. I just moused over it and you missed it. Sorry, guys.
And you're gone.
It's right here. Look at this. They get a little bit of snow. They're pushing up into China a little bit. I guess India must circumvent it here, because it looks like India keeps going up through this region. Then you've got Bangladesh, and you got Kathmandu over here, right? And then Nepal's over here. So you got the Kathmandu here. Man, could you imagine?
I'd love to get over there.
I've been down here many a time through here. Oh, New Delhi's really nice. But anyhow, so that's there's Myanmar, and this isn't a geography lesson. But look at these cool. Look at that cool. Look at this. Look how nice this is. Man, look at that.
It seems like it. So I wanted to.
Ooh, that's amazing. That's impressive. Look at built on the side of a cliff. Oh man, I just found out where I'm going to go next. Look at that. Oh. All right.
So is JV in here? Is Jay in here? Where's Jay? I don't see Jay in the chat.
I saw JV.
Is Jay in the chat? So Jay put this tweet out, and again, that's what I love. So Jay threw this tweet out there. I was last night, and we didn't see it. Sorry, we didn't see it in time, Jay. But it says, "Hey Chip, can you guys talk about the creation of the XRP ledger and XRP tonight? I believe people need a refresher. I found this interesting." And he found this. It's kind of cool right here, where he got. This goes back to the OpenCoin days, 2013. So he's just kind of finding some cool stuff and stuff about the XRPL. So I thought, it might be a good idea for us to kind of do a little refresher on this one, and kind of pull it up, because maybe everyone's not so familiar with the XRPL but again, the whole idea was to provide a better alternative to Bitcoin. In 2011, 3 engineers, Schwartz, Jed McCaleb, who now is with the Stellar Foundation, and Arthur Brito, who we've never seen a picture of, Jeff. The guy's elusive. He's like a rare animal. No one's ever seen a photo of him.
Maybe he's CIA.
You never know, Jeff. And then, fascinated by Bitcoin, they set out to create a better version that would improve upon its limitations, with the goal of creating a digital asset that was more sustainable and built specifically for payments.
Look at that. That's interesting, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's so they have the XRP first ledger launched in June of 2012. Now, last time I checked, Jeff, it's basically we're coming up almost on 2022. So it's almost we're coming up. It's like 10 years ago almost that this was formed.
Wait, we passed the 9-year mark. So next year we have to have a huge celebration,
a party,
right?
If you will.
And it's the 10th anniversary of the XRP ledger. That's exciting. So June, we don't have an exact date of June. I'm sure we can find that out. And we'll have a massive party.
Maybe we have like a big meetup. We'll just celebrate the X. We'll just drink to the XRPL. But so it launched in June of 2012. Shortly thereafter, they were joined by Chris Larson. The group started the company NewCoin. That's what they started out as in September of 2012. A couple months later. Then they quickly renamed OpenCoin. It's now named Ripple. And then the XRP founders gifted the 80 billion XRP, the platform's native currency, to the company. So at that time, back in 2012, 80 billion, you had 80 billion basically was gifted to Ripple. And so Ripple since put the majority in escrow. And then there's like a cool timeline here.
50 billion exact.
Yeah, 2011.
55 billion.
2012, it launched its native currency, XRP. The Trio developers continued work at the distributed ledger. They named the code Ripple. The ledger included a digital asset that would originally be called Ripples. And so partly they're responsible for everyone calling, the association with Ripple, they're calling it Ripple. It was called Ripples. And then XRP is the currency code to follow the naming convention as Bitcoin, like BTC, XRP. And at the time,
it was very confusing.
Very confusing. And then the Ripple stood for the open source project, the unique consensus ledger, Ripple consensus ledger, transaction protocol, Ripple transaction protocol, or RTXP, the network Ripple network, and the digital asset known as Ripples. And then that puts us to 2013, where OpenCoin rebranded to Ripple Labs. And despite the revolutionary ideals of many Bitcoin early believers, Larson never thought the blockchain technology should be used to overthrow existing financial system. He believed that the history's most transformative innovations have always relied on great ideas that came before them, not really necessarily displacing them. Even though that you could argue that maybe that is the intention there. I don't say overthrow, but certainly displace.
Well, it's progress, as you move, you change, you develop, and it's interesting though, because you had to take a different approach. If you think about Bitcoin at the time, it was all about replacing, right? They wanted to replace the current system, get rid of the banks. So you want to start butting heads with the banks. Here, they're taking the approach that, hey, we don't want to replace you. We just want to work with you and eventually replace you.
And then replace you as soon as we can do it, So then Jay says, I believe Gensler's confused with Ripple being gifted the 80 billion XRP, but Ripple used private investor funds to build out its business. Did they use XRP to fund all their business? No, they did not. They had a 300 million up to date of investment from outside organizations. And then we go to 2020 and founded in September 24th, 2020, which is a year ago.
Nice.
A year ago, it's in 2 days, coming up in a year. XRPL Foundation, independent nonprofit entity, mission to accelerate the development and adoption of the decentralized XRP ledger. Foundation received an initial donation of over $6.5 million from Coil, Ripple, and GateHub to fund the foundation's work and service for the growing number of developers. So it's kind of like a little trip down memory lane. Kind of gives you the grand overview. But Jay, good idea of suggesting that just in case anybody needed sort of a refresher course. And the benefits of the XRPL, man, they're phenomenal. I mean, it's a great, phenomenal little deal there. And I wanted to throw this video up there because so the XRP, Vita Vin's company, he put out a video today, which I thought was actually pretty good. And it's so weird that it kind of like fit in with this the whole XRPL. But he talks about, let's go ahead and let's throw the video. Vita Vin, here it. But this is a sort of an XRPL explainer video.
To pay someone using the XRP ledger, you must know their destination address. Each XRP ledger account, including your account, has an address that starts with a lowercase r. When you send funds to an account on the XRP ledger, those funds will always arrive in that account, but only after the transaction has been both successfully submitted to and accepted by the network. For some transactions, you also need a destination tag. A destination tag is a number. This number is a marker to help the receiver understand what the payment is about or who the payment is intended for. The point of a destination tag is to allow a business to use a single XRP ledger account to manage many incoming payments, thus identifying each payment via the provided destination tag. The person or business to whom you are sending your payment will inform you if they require a destination tag. To understand why a destination tag is required, it may help to think of your payment as a parcel, where the destination address is like a mailing address, and the destination tag is like a room number. If the address the parcel is sent to...
And it's also good to know that if you miss that destination tag and it goes into the main wallet, your payment is gone pretty much forever. And that is the downside of that. So they're making a good clarification here. But yeah, I mean,
that really sucks.
Unfortunately, people have lost money, and sometimes you can recover it if depending on who owns the general wallet. But yeah, it's a rough thing. But
it's a freestanding house, then it does not require a room number. Without a room number, nothing bad will happen. The owner of the house will still get the parcel. Now consider sending a parcel to a university with 10,000 rooms. Failure to provide a room number will still result in the delivery of your parcel to the university. However, it will sit in the mailroom and no one will know for which room it was intended. To ensure that your payment is...
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So that was they put out that little thing, sort of explainer video today, which is pretty good. It's all right. It's
it's really, man. So what's interesting, Chip. I like the direction that everything is kind of moving in with XRP and Ripple and the crypto space, and obviously there's all this, all the antagonists in the area. I mean, what would the movie be like if we didn't have antagonists?
Of course,
it'd be a
boring as hell.
Be a boring plot, So we have to have the antagonists, Daddy G and some of the others. But while they're all focused on all this big news, right, and they're labeling all these things as unregistered securities, and they're running around all these companies. They're going after Ripple. They're going after Coinbase. They're trying to step on the XRP community and all this stuff. So while that's going on, all of a sudden you get Miami. Miami's like, hey, we're Miami. We're going to do what we want to do in Miami. And all of a sudden they roll out the Miami coin. And the Miami coin, look at this. The mayor said the Miami coin has been generating $2,000 every 10 minutes for the city.
That's amazing, Chuck.
Like what, all of a sudden, how Miami's mayor believes that if city-specific crypto succeed, it would mean residents won't have to pay a cent in tax, right? So while you got all this crushing stuff going on out here, you got the mayor down here in Miami being like, the heck with these guys. Miami's its own place. We're going to do our own thing. We're rolling out the Miami coin, and we're going to make bank. Man, and they're making $2,000 bank every 10 minutes. Now, the question I have for you, Chip, is the Miami coin an unregistered security? Is it a stable coin that needs to be crushed, according to Janet Yellen and Daddy G?
Well, if Daddy G has his way, it's Mr. Gensler wants to crush it all. And I'm kind of so shocked. I mean, like, how has it been that he hasn't weighed in on this already? I mean, it's like, it's been a nanosecond, and why isn't Gensler all over it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, it's it's crazy. Which so it's launched by City Coins, and I'm looking at this. I'm like, man, I would love to launch something like this for our city. We got a small town. I think we should have it in our town. Why not? It's successful in Miami. It'll be successful here too. Now I'm thinking, hey, you know what? I'm gonna set that up. But look at this. Hard-coded into Miami Coin's protocol is the requirement that 30% of all coins mined are routed to a digital wallet designated for the city. Like, hey, we're gonna build this thing, everything mined. We're getting a 30% right off the top.
It's a built-in tax, Jeff. It's fantastic. It's like skimming right off the top. They're like, wait a minute, Google. Wait a minute, Google gets 30% in the App Store. Apple gets 30% in the App Store. YouTube takes 30% of anything donated to creators. Let's make it 30%. 30% right off the top.
30% off the top.
No one's going to complain. It's kind of like an industry standard.
It's an industry standard. No one's going to know. Look at those funds will be earmarked for spending on projects such as projects to mitigate the risks of climate issues, funding initiatives for underprivileged communities, and investing in crypto education for tech entrepreneurs. Okay, that's a start. That's a great way to start. And then you can talk about infrastructure, our bridges, our expansion. Maybe they need to start looking at some of the buildings that were built a little shoddily. But man, look at this. Fox Business estimated last week that roughly $2,500 worth of stacks, STX, at its then value of $1.50, were being transferred in the city's wallet every 10 minutes. They made $5 million over the last 30 days. Dude, this
sounds profitable to me. I mean, it sounds like a great thing. Jeff, when are we launching Yeti Coin?
We'll launch
Yeti Coin. How much can Yeti Coin make? I mean, if we launch the elusive Yeti, it's elusive. I mean, how much can it make? I mean, can it make 5,000 a day? Can it make 10,000 a month? I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be on par with Miami over here. And best thing about it, look at this: the residents don't pay 1 cent in tax.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Okay. It sounds like a good deal, Jeff, right now, but I don't know. I'm a little. Forgive me if I'm a little skeptical. It's
something different. It's like, this is how we're gonna fund the governments of the future, right? Is there a point where it just no longer benefits any longer?
But what's the use case? I mean, fueling 30% off the top to, I mean, what's the actual use case of this coin? I mean, and how is it funding it? Is it because people are purchasing it? I mean, is it a highly speculative asset, Jeff? Because that's what I'm getting at.
Well,
Gary Gensler will want to know.
It's definitely a speculative asset, so you can let them know that. That's number one. And and it just might be circumventing some of the legal requirements of banking, because I don't think that anybody from Miami went to the SEC to sit down and have a beer and talk to them about it, or maybe some Cuban coffee in Miami's defense. So I don't know. We'll see if Gary wants to come down here, but maybe maybe not. He's
skeptical, man. But look at
these guys in Miami, man. They're partying.
But you have to love the idea. That's South Beach right there, Jeff. You've been in South Beach. So what I love about the idea of the Miami coin is that it's an innovative idea. I mean, I don't know how it's got legs. I mean, it seems like it's a pretty cool thing, but at least the city is sort of like putting something out there like, hey, can we do this? I mean, because it was inevitable for Francis Suarez, the mayor of Miami, who's so into Bitcoin, so into cryptocurrency. It makes a lot of sense he'd roll something like this out. I mean, it's kind of in line.
It could be a stable coin if it's linked to gold. As for the SEC, in my opinion, it's the Securities Extortion Committee.
Oh, I like that.
Now here's another question. Someone's bringing up Alligator Alley. But now I'm thinking about, hey, if you're mining, you got, Miami coin and Fort Lauderdale coin and Boca coin, Orlando coin, Florida coin. Man, it could be the most amazing place ever. No state taxes, no other taxes, no sales tax. Everyone's living large. And then then all of a sudden the toll roads are all free, and then we'll have flying cars down here and be amazing.
Jeff, thank God you said flying cars, because in 2020 we were promised flying cars in 2000, then 2010, and 2020. I'm still waiting for the flying cars. We don't have any flying cars, but anyway.
Well, so with a Miami coin, we're gonna have flying cars.
So you mentioned Daddy G, right? You mentioned Daddy G, and I want to throw this up here because he's at it again, Daddy Gensler. But so Gary Gensler puts a video out today. Okay.
The city of Miami is now a security. Ask Gary.
Yeah, it is. It's complete. The whole city is now. Shut it down. The whole city is a security. So Gensler puts out this video today, and Jeff, this is just ponderous. I don't even know where to put this. Okay.
So you're skeptical about Miami coin, but not crypto. Sorry.
Yeah. So he says I don't even know where he's going with this. He's the chairman of the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission. He puts out a tweet: whether we're starting off our freshman year of college or getting ready to graduate soon, I bet that most of us are thinking about money in one way or another. My two pieces of advice are: start saving early and save regularly. Now, I had to throw this up, and I'm like, Daddy Gensler is at it again. What does any of this have to do with the SEC's core mission of protecting investors? And you know what the easy answer on that, Jeff, is? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So we're not going to sit through this whole video because it's boring as all hell. But it's it's Gary.
Hey, is he still doing his coffee tidbits on the weekends or whatever those were?
I think he gave those up. I think he took too much heat for those. But again, look at this. Now this is Daddy Gensler talking to all the college students now, right? Here we go. Let's listen in.
You might be starting off your freshman year of college. Others might be entering your final year. I bet that most of you are thinking about money in one way or another.
Dude, this guy's so boring.
Join a meal plan or buy groceries?
Buy a meal plan or groceries. Now here he goes with his analogy. What do I do and how do I do it? But who the hell is Daddy Gensler?
You should be telling people to buy poker chips.
Yeah, poker chips.
Should I make coffee at home or hit up the coffee shop?
Well, Jeff and I will say make it at home. It's going to be 10 times better, but that's just us. Gary,
oh yeah, avoid Starbucks at all costs.
I want to take it beyond those topics about your expenses. What I want to talk about is savings. Start saving early and save often.
Yeah, what I want to talk about is your ridiculous, idiotic approach to regulation. That's what I like to talk a little bit about. But look at this. I mean, Jeff, he has no business. The chairman of the SEC has no business telling freshmen in college what they should do with their money. They're not thinking about saving money, dude. They're thinking about, having fun, getting great grades, excelling and partying. That's what they're thinking about. They're not thinking about this.
He should be talking to the younger generation in college that are getting ready to come out of college and say, hey, have you guys thought about investing in cryptocurrency? What do you guys know about XRP and Bitcoin?
It's a security. That's what it is. I mean, this whole video is it's absolutely the epitome of pathetic, Jeff.
I know it sounds a little odd. You're still in college, but just for a moment, if you were to say,
just for a moment, let Daddy Gensler talk to you. And that will be forever. That will be forever. When Kennedy, Senator Kennedy, had said, "Are you their daddy? Then why do you act like it? Why do you interject your opinion in everything you do? Why do you have to put yourself at the middle of everything?" And here he is. Now listen to this. Now, and there were some funny comments on this tweet here, but
$5 a week, and you earned maybe 8%. Starting off while you're
now hang on a second, Jeff. You can't get 4% from Coinbase, right, Jeff? Like that's not a possibility. Like, oh no, the lend product for 4%? No.
Where are you getting 8% on your money?
Where are you getting 8% on your money there, Gary G?
If you're saving it because you're not investing anywhere, right? So what's let's say bank savings interest?
None.
Oh, here it is. 0.45%. Huge percentage right there.
So are you calling him on his BS right here that you're saving it, you're putting it in a bank and you're making
what's that?
So you're calling him on his garbage, right?
Yeah, and that's annual. So you're making huge per month. So here it says Yield Street short-term notes at 4% target annual interest. That's on Yield Street. You deserve better than the 0.2% average returns from savings and money market accounts. 0.02, 0.4. How much interest? What's that?
Mallory says, where? Not in the banks.
So if you put $1,000 in the bank in savings, right, and you're earning an average of about 0.01%, you'll end up with 10 cents. Now, if you put that into your high yield savings account, you could earn about $5 after a year.
It's a ridiculous, Jeff.
$5 on your $1,000.
It's ridiculous. So, but let's hear him out. Let's hear his.
What is that?
Let's see what he has to say.
College, you may have $130,000 plus saved by the time of retirement at 65, just from $5 a week. But if instead you waited until, let's say, you're 40 years old to start saving, to get to the same numbers, you'd need about $30 a week. So start early, save often. And if I may, one other thing.
No, you may
Maybe
not.
go to office hours.
Compounding.
Also, if you
I
wish,
love
follow along
compounding.
with Office Hours with Gary, a series we have on the SEC site where I try to break down all sorts of topics related to.
Dude, where was this energy in the
security.
beginning of his video? How does he end his video
Again,
with
best
energy
of
in the
luck
whole
with
other
the school
part?
year.
But it's like the whole thing is just oh,
This was made for nobody.
he's a clown.
Jim D
So-
says college diploma is also a declining asset worth exponentially less each year as technology and world context moves away from the knowledge and technology base.
Yeah.
Man.
So, and then we have some others. So we had said, hey, Chip, don't worry. They want to protect you from making 4% off your money on a stablecoin securities versus 0.1 at your amazing bank. Highest yields. The SEC has your best interest in mind. Super excited to get everyone to retire in 75 years. Love, Daddy Gary.
AG.
And then
Look at this doctor. The people who wrote his speech have not left their offices since the early 80s when this was normal.
And then there's Simon who says he wants the people to work 9 to 5 and had a lot of debt. I hate him. And he's like, and then, yep, don't forget to make his banker buddies and politicians more wealthy while the common person gets shit for their hard work. And
Sounds about
yeah, I
right.
know it makes me sick to think about it. He wants to destroy my crypto dream. And it does sure seem like that, Jeff. It sure has that sort of feeling that he's, look, that's the smallest bottle I've ever seen. My God, dude.
It's a miniature bottle.
I can
Then
see that.
when
It's
you-
got like 3 gulps of water in it, man.
Yeah,
That's
like
why
thousands of
that's why you have so many of them, man.
I don't have my cup here, and then I got empty. This one here, and I finished all this water just recently.
And then I forgot to put this one up here. This one's from Jay. Jay says, clown show. He's like, save $5 a week to retire at 65. Are you kidding me? This video could have been used to provide some clarity. I've yet to hear him explain what a crypto security and give an example by choosing a top 10 crypto. And Jay, you're talking here's Jay with like way too much logic and reason going on here. That is exactly what we should be hearing about, although we're not hearing about any of it. So there you go.
XRP Speedboat, appreciate the support. But here you have a 20-year-old kid. By the time they're 65, that 130 grand would have the buying power of 130 bucks. Hey, you muted yourself. Mute.
Sorry, I muted myself. I sometimes mute myself. But anyway, I wanted to say this, Jeff, because this is this kind of came out of nowhere, and it seems like with all the press going on with Coinbase, this kind of caught me off guard today. Look at this. I want to get your thoughts on this. Coinbase to launch 24/7 phone support and other enhancement to customer support by the end of the year.
That's huge.
What?
That's massive. Is that a real article or is that a fake one?
This is an official Coinbase blog article. I saw Armstrong and tweeted it out. Brian Armstrong tweeted it. He said,
All I could say is finally.
Yeah, that's what I said over here. I was like, I said, it's about time. I mean, my God, they've been around for how many years? He said, what are the cuts? All under the cultural tenets is customer focus. The tenant uses the expectation that we solve customer problems with technology. So instinctive and blah, blah, blah. We recognize when it comes to our customer support, early in our journey, we didn't create any value for our customers because you can never get a hold of them. You email them, you send them a thing. There's no phone to call. There's a public company. So I'm wondering if did they get a little bit of heat for this, Jeff? Like, wait,
sure.
you guys are a public company.
And you don't have you have no customer support, no phone support, nothing. And they're like, we don't need no stinking phone support.
Now, I don't know what faster response times, but faster than waiting a week for no response, I can't imagine you can improve upon that.
Well, if it's 24/7, that's pretty cool. But when you 24/7, is it going to be push 1 if you would like immediate response time within 3 weeks?
Yeah, direct connections matter. 24/7 support will be available for all retail customers. I almost expected to see for only accredited investors there, right? I'm sorry. Not you guys, man.
Only professionally certified, accredited investors.
Yeah, you've been through our training program and you've been certified by the SEC. Whether the question is simple or complex, customers in the US, UK, Germany, and Japan, screw the other countries apparently, but we'll have the option to connect in our in-country based service teams before the end of 2021. So this is something to aspire to, Jeff. It's
check. That's it, man. I like it. But here's K Hud said, "I'm sorry, but the lines are full and we can't help you right now. Call back at a later time." Like
Bing,
24/7.
and it hangs up. Thank you. Goodbye. Click. I hate when they do that to you, Jeff.
Catherine McDonald, what a serious waste of resources by the SEC. Getting Genslered.
Hashtag getting Genslered. Oh, getting Genslered. Yeah, it
And
is
the
a
other
massive. It is a massive waste of support.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Massive live message. Jeff, they're gonna have live messaging. Wow, they're coming into the 90s, late 90s here.
Really?
We've
That
had
would be
our
nice.
customers' time, so we're launching messaging, which means customers can connect with us when the time is right. Let's see, is it 3:30 a.m. yet? Okay, the on the chain is on, and I'm in another country. Let's message them and see if they're there.
Yep.
Yeah, and then you can have the conversation seamlessly. If you want to step away, the team of customer support experts will be available via messaging 24/7 with the speed a customers expect, which is ridiculous. What are you laughing about over there?
Just reading some of these comments.
You want to share them because they're usually funnier if you share them.
I
goal is-
gotta find Jeff's speech.
There we go.
Someone should have sworn against her.
Oh, yikes. That's wow.
my
That's
God.
something. That is something, huh?
All right. Miami. Man, Miami's awesome.
Yeah. Miami is awesome.
I just try not to go there. But
Yeah. Well, we were there not too long ago, but we were hanging out there.
True, yeah.
And look at this. Just look at our pal Charles Gasparino. He says, breaking. One of the Coinbase critiques of the SEC's action is blocking its lend product, I should say.
Products.
Similar services are actively being provided elsewhere through what Coinbase believes is a less secure manner. The other venues have not received an SEC warning. Of course they haven't, Jeff. I mean, this is the kind of like the par for course, right?
Yeah, don't tell anybody else.
It's like, no, don't worry about that. I mean, my gosh, you're doing something wrong and you should have known. And
don't tell anyone about all the other nice projects that are out there that Genzer.
But yeah, in line, Carlos Domingo tweeted this out here. He said, Robinhood is implementing crypto wallets and free commission crypto trading.
Yeah.
That is going to crush Coinbase. And he's right about that. Think about that. Starting today, you can join the crypto wallets waitlist. With wallets, you'll be able to send your coins to other crypto wallets, receive supported cryptos into your Robinhood crypto account. So, I mean, think about that. If they're going to do zero commission on that, zero commission crypto trading, this could be a big thing. This could be a really massive development.
I think it is. And Robinhood, I thought they were on shaky ground, going through the whole GameStop thing. And so, but they keep pushing forward. And there's a lot of development there. They do some free trades. It definitely could open up some massive movement for them.
Yeah, and you remember the big criticism they took was, well, you can't move it off their platform. Remember, like you and I had to deal with that. It's like, oh, you can only sell it. You had to sell it back into fiat currency. But to be able to use wallets, to be able to use zero trades, hey man, this is going to be another opening. The same way Robinhood, what they did for stocks is going to do for crypto in a bigger way. I mean, way beyond what Doge is, and they'll probably add a ton more, 150, 200 more tokens to the platform. And now they got something there. So it's interesting to see the fun little competition going between between Coinbase and the pals over there at the
SEC.
SEC.
Hey, Chip. So
I should say Coinbase.
Coinbase. Just a side note. Now, you'd put this up. I thought this was really funny because Senator Warren's office was confusing MakerDAO for a failed 2016 project, the DAO, right? And I'm like, how can you get something so wrong? And as I was reading that, I was about to share this really cool website with you that I just found. And I thought it was really, really cool. So I wanted to share this with you. It's called pets.com.
I remember, Jeff.
Sure, remember? So this is like, it's like a brand new thing, man. I think we should. Oh, wait a minute. It's been out of business since 2000.
Yeah,
oh, my bad.
2000.
My bad. So Senator Warren's office, the DAO project failed 5 years ago. 5 years ago. 5 years. 5 years. They couldn't do a little bit of research.
No.
You know, I mean, come on. I mean, they might as well be over here shopping on pets.com. And they're like, what's that? What's that website again? Oh, yeah. I'm going to send you to pets.com because you got some sales right now on premium choice scoopables for $9.99.
Are you lobbying criticism at a politician here for who's completely out of touch with reality? It sounds like you're coming down a little heavy-handed there, Jeff.
The old pets.com sock puppet.
Oh, you remember the sock puppet? Oh, the sock puppet was awesome.
Yeah, it's the best. That's the best stuff ever.
The puppet was good. There's no doubt about the puppet. The puppet.
Oh my God.
So let's segue here. Coining 203. Alex put this up here. I wanted to play this little clip here.
Brady and Gary Gensler, the football superstar versus the SEC.
Bump up the volume.
Both have dramatically different views on the future of Bitcoin.
Let's start it over.
All right, think quickly. Tom Brady and Gary Gensler, the football superstar versus the SEC chief, both have dramatically different views on the future of Bitcoin. As you know, Gensler has been targeting the Wild West of cryptocurrency is something he is going to rein in. In fact, doesn't think it has much of a future anyway in a few years. Tom Brady, the ageless football superstar, though, saying that he finds the whole technology intriguing. And in a serious interview yesterday, he said, I think it's an amazing thing that's happening in the world with the way the world is becoming more digital, and that these digital currencies, along with a lot of, if you look at how the world is going with all these different digital mediums and how they're impacting currencies, he goes on to say, I'd love to request to get paid in some crypto and to get paid in some Bitcoin or Ethereum or some Solana tokens. So he's a fan, and he's ageless. Gary Gensler, not so much. He might be ageless too. I do know this guy's a superstar and ageless. Charlie Gasparino, what he makes of it.
Yeah.
So this is great, Jeff. So I mean, you always bet on Brady. Okay, that's the number one. Bet on Brady. You're not going to get anything coming out of that. It's like, so Brady, who's been around for 20 years, and Gary Gensler, which is a total goofball. Let's listen.
Oh my God, dude. It's so funny. Before you put that up, man, check that out. Reg, the best 8 p.m. show on crypto in the entire
world, man. That's some serious high praise. I will take it. We have a global audience. I love that, Reg. That's high praise. Appreciate that, brother. Thank you very much. I'm going to try to play this, and let me know if you hear it, because you know how these things work with the breaks. Hang on.
You know, split there, right? One who's singing its praises in the future, the football star, and the other wants to rein it in and wants to make, this whole technology a shooting star. What do you think?
Well, and there's a lot of split with Gary Gensler these days, particularly on his approach to regulating crypto. And we should point out, it's not binary. It doesn't have to be like filled with fraud and, the greatest thing since the French fry. You know what I'm saying? It could be somewhere in the middle where there's fraud, but also this is the blockchain technology, which is the technology that allows transactions to occur through that sort of through the ledger known. That in itself has tremendous possibilities. And the question is, does Gary Gensler's heavy-handed approach, and I think it would be considered heavy-handed, I don't think I'm going out on a limb saying that. It's not an opinion. This is basically what everybody's saying. This is sort of approach where he's regulating by enforcement, where he's attacking the industry every day, where he's throwing shade on the tech.
Throwing shade on the technology. So he's absolutely right there. I mean, we got his Twitter's.
Technology itself.
Well, because of Twitter, there's a limitation of how much you can put up there. But Alex was cool enough to find these videos, so
he's throwing shade on the technology itself as well. Whether that's the right approach to making sure the technology of blockchain and the notion that crypto can be used in a blockchain to transact businesses seamlessly and cheaply and more efficiently, and that is possibly the next internet, whether that's the right approach. And I think he's getting pushback not just from Tom Brady. We should point out he's getting pushback from Hester Peirce, his SEC commissioner, appointed by Obama. She's a Republican from what I understand, but she was appointed by Obama, and she's known as the crypto mom, as you know. And, she's saying that this whole approach is lacking clarity. And it's not just her. I hear this from security lawyers, obviously people in the crypto space, academics. I think the real question for Gary Gensler is why. I think someone needs to call him on Capitol Hill and ask him what he thinks about the technology of blockchain, and if what he's doing is bad for that. And can blockchain really be this transformational technology that's going to change the way we transact business, which a lot of people say? And is your approach going to hurt or help that? I think that's something that.
Yeah, I think he's right about that. Is the approach going to hurt or help it? And so far, I think what we've discovered, it's been all hurt.
All hurt.
Let's see, let me put this up again.
I think that's something that Pat Toomey, the senator from Pennsylvania, would like to say. Clearly, if the Republicans were in Congress, they'd have him up on the Hill saying that right now, given some of the lobbying pressure from the crypto industry. So, Neil, I can't tell you where this is going, but we are clearly at a crossroads, regulatory crossroads here. Gensler is hell-bent, even though his powers on crypto.
Jeff, why the hell did they always put Litecoin up? Will you please, in God's green earth, why do they put Litecoin up? It's like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. Litecoin's never a factor in almost any. There are 4,000 other coins you could put up there, but they always like Litecoin.
Yeah, it's nice. Litecoin, one of the top 3.
I don't get it.
Are pretty constrained. I mean, he has to prove that anything like this is a security. How do you prove something's a security, like a bond or a stock, and regulated by the SEC? Well, it has to pass certain tests. There's something known as the Hawley test. First, we should point out that Bitcoin wasn't declared a security. Ethereum, the Ether, crypto that goes to Ethereum, wasn't considered a security. XRP, what is? People can't understand why it is. So this thing is all over the place, and I can tell you, there's a battle brewing both inside the SEC.
Hell yeah, battle.
Gensler, I believe.
Battle, Jeff.
Rhetorically, I mean, I'm sure they're not punching each other in the face, but I think they are going to ideologically clash, and the industry and academics on where this whole thing is going. Listen, where was the internet perfect in 1995?
No, it wasn't.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe Gensler was at Goldman at the time. Maybe he's. His firm was underwriting all sorts of crappy internet stocks.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. There, he's coming out quick.
Oh, that was nice.
Gasparino, getting a little dig in there, man. You gotta like that, Jeff. He's like, he was under
crappy internet stocks.
At Goldman, all this crap.
And there were lots of them.
Oh, I love that. I really just love that, man. That guy is, I'm so glad he came along, because he's just really, he's just really kind of opening it up and really tearing it up. I mean, it's great to hear XRP. And then I saw this tweet here from Tom Emmer,
Chip, you asked why Litecoin, and so Dr. Dipple says Litecoin has a real use case and made Charlie rich.
Super rich. But don't worry, he's not selling his bags until he did sell his bags.
Gave him some generational wealth.
So Tom Emmer, Congressman Tom Emmer out of the Minnesota 6th District, he put this up. And Jeff, I got to get your thought on this one here, because this one's interesting. He said, what is a security? What's a digital asset? How can we craft a framework that keeps crypto accessible for millions of Americans? Thank you, Farajad, for the team at Coinbase for meeting with me today to discuss the innovation-friendly regulations. So there is Tom Emmer meeting with the team over there at Coinbase, which I find interesting because, it's Coinbase is one of the, obviously, and, Emmer's been on video with Garlinghouse. They've done stuff together, but here he is, not shying away from it, going all in. And this is Fayar Shirzad. He's the chief policy officer over at Coinbase. So I think this is good. Private companies meeting, being very public about it, talking about, what is a security? What's a digital asset? I like the approach here. And you'd like to see more of it. Unfortunately, it's not happening enough in Congress. Congress could pass the token taxonomy tomorrow, Jeff, and all of this would just go away. Like, okay, we got clarity, game on, let's build, let's move forward, let's invest, and it's over. But no.
The reason why token taxonomy hasn't moved in Congress, there's just one person, Maxine Waters. And that's that summarizes everything. That's all you got to say. Why didn't it move? Maxine Waters. There you go. Maybe a few others, but she's primarily responsible. She's the chair of that committee. And then John Doe over here, John Doe posted, put up something interesting today. Or this is on a retweet or a tweet on his post. But so you have DAI put something up, but I want to get into what Charles said here, but I just thought that was kind of a funny image over here. The dude isn't a genius. He's a dumpster dude, family mixed with luck. Doesn't mean he's a god.
That's not a rub, Jeff. That's a pick.
Yeah.
He's got half his thumb buried in there.
Right. And then you've got Charles Gasparino. Here's William Hinman's rationale for Ether not falling under the SEC's enforcement regime. He is basically saying Ether was a security, even if it's not one now, and putting aside the fundraising that accompanied the creation of Ether. Based on my understanding of the present state of Ether, the Ethereum network and its decentralized structure, current offers and sales of Ether are not securities transactions.
Interesting.
There you go. So it's all good stuff, man. An XRP speedboat, XRP light, fewer Genslers per bottle.
It's
oh my god.
I don't know why I put an article
Brilliant.
in here.
Brilliant.
I cannot find it for some reason, man. Don't know what happened to it. Huh.
Oh, look at that. Preparing. It's correct. As long as Democrats have control, we're only going to see more heavy-handed regulation and strong arming from the SEC. As long as Gary Gensler's there.
Nope, that's exactly right. So I wanted to hit this article right here. I don't want to claim anything. Can I just read this? So again, we sort of teased this at the top of the hour there, and let's. God, with all the freaking ads, nobody reads them, nobody cares.
Yeah. So
here we go. So Biden to tap crypto big bank critic to run Wall Street watchdog. The OCC nominee. So this is the new Gary Gensler for the OCC, an academic who's done and accomplished really nothing in her life other than being in academia and talking about wacky ideas. Biden plans to nominate a law professor who criticized cryptocurrencies. Oh, gee, Jeff, that's interesting, isn't it? And advocated for the government to have a bigger role in the banking to run a top Wall Street regulator. So this is like Gary Gensler's like evil sister who can't wait to get in there and start regulating the hell out of it. Sully Amarova said she wants to end banking as we know it. She'll be tapped to run the office of the comptroller of the currency as soon as this week, according to people familiar with the nomination process. Asked not to be named before a White House announcement, the OCC supervises the nation's biggest lenders, including JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, Citigroup, Goldman Sachs, blah, blah, blah. Pickin Amarova, who teaches at Cornell University. Gee, Jeff, another academic. How about that, huh? Yeah, at MIT, you got this, and Cornell. It's a shot across the bow for Wall Street as she's expected to pursue tougher oversight and stricter rules. Pick also raises questions about whether the Biden administration would support her agenda if she pursues some of her radical positions, such as moving consumer banking to the Federal Reserve from private institutions. This woman is clinically insane, Jeff.
Right?
She wants to move. Right. Jeff, the Fed is what we don't want. We want to crush the Fed, okay? Because the Fed note, it's not the U.S. dollar, it's the Federal Reserve note. We don't own it. The United States doesn't own it. It's a Ponzi scheme, and she wants to move all banking to the Fed. This is what a nut job is about to be nominated to the OCC, Jeff.
Well, Chip, it's interesting. So as you're pulling that up, I was looking for another article that would kind of fit nicely into this whole narrative. And it was on the Wall Street Journal. And it seems that the Wall Street Journal pulled the article because I can't find it. And the title of the article was China's Regulatory Storm Risks Triggering Wider Economic Damage. So China economic collapse is incoming, potentially overburdensome government regulations, crushing private markets. Does it sound familiar? And the overzealousness and overregulation of the banking space.
The banking space, the crypto space. It's like everything's a target now, Jeff. It seems like everything, they're going full frontal. They're attacking everything. And, we got to keep academia away from these government positions. We need somebody to come up. Like, you look at someone like a Brian Brooks, who was lead counsel for Coinbase before going over to the OCC and doing real like arena of ideas. taking ideas. How about what if banks could custody crypto for their clients? Okay, good. She's talking about crazy stuff like let's get rid of private banks and let's put everything to the Fed. No.
She's talking about stuff that she would sit around, with her friends who go out to the coffee shop, or they were sitting around drinking their coffee, and they were talking about, man, what would it be like if we brought all the banks into the Fed? And then her ideas would develop a little bit, because that's when she was in school talking to her buddies. And then she's like, I'm going to research that more. And then she goes on and gets her PhD. And then she's like, man, this is a real topic. And then she stayed in school, and then she starts teaching, and it keeps developing while she's in academia. And meanwhile, just regurgitating all these Marxist ideologies, and reading more and regurgitating more people's opinions. And then all of a sudden she gets tapped for a position like that.
And it's like, hey, you are crazy town. You are crazy town. Why don't you come on in? We think it'd be perfect. Academia, haven't really done much in life. Crazy socialist, Marxist ideas. Come on in. We think you're going to be a perfect fit. And then there's this one. Look at this. Mike Novogratz says Gary Gensler wants to be the sheriff on Cryptoville. Galaxy Digital founder and CEO said it's clear that the SEC chair, Gary Gensler, is gunning for crypto, but it doesn't have to spell doom. So I thought that was interesting. It's like everyone's kind of, making their points known. Even someone like Novogratz is going after him. He's not even slowing down.
So here's the thing, right? You've got all the Genslers of the world and the Yellens of the world, and whatever this woman's name is that they want to destroy the rest of our banking, whatever her name is. And then you've got Cramer over here, right? Look at Cramer with his pointing finger and all this stuff. And look at how relevant all of this stuff comes full, it's like it's just everything, right? It's all on right now. Everything is coming to a head in the crypto space right now. So this is how this is probably one of the most important topics of our time, because everybody's talking about it. Jim Cramer is begging investors of cryptos like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin to book profits before the Evergrande crisis takes a bigger toll. Now, Evergrande is over in China. Granted, they have holdings in different parts of the world, but this is, when they crash, is it going to have is it going to impact crypto to the negative? Or is it going to drag the crypto space into a bear cycle like we saw after the real estate crash of 2008 brought the stocks into an elongated bear cycle? Or is crypto going to boom? And is crypto going to use this as a springboard, because it says, hey, we don't care what's going on in China, but as you see other parts of the economies are struggling and suffering, people are going to be, flocking to the crypto space. I'm not sure which one it is, but everybody's up in arms, and I'm trying to figure out, why is Jim Cramer only talking about crypto and not talking about the stock market?
Well, hang on a second though, because I want to tell you, Jim Cramer inserted his foot into his mouth, and I let him have it. I punched him right in the throat. I gave him a throat punch, because look at this. Look at the stupidity of Jim Cramer. So I replied to him today. Memo to Coinbase and Brian Armstrong. Still waiting for sketchy behavior of the SEC. Can you school us on that? Why did you withdraw your game plan? Are you the sketchy one? Jim Cramer knows very little about the crypto world, and he's now coming out there and accusing Brian Armstrong of being sketchy, but the SEC is cool. And I'm like, Cramer, you're spewing nonsense and making baseless accusations. And Jungle Link put a couple good ones out there as well. Interesting, he never asks or accuses or used the word sketchy in reference to the SEC. Hinman, Clayton, despite mountains of apparently press invisible videos and documents that have been in place at his doorstep on a gold platter with whipped cream and sprinkles. Complicit, says Attack Titan. So there were a lot of great, he's a paid puppet of the PTBs and blah, blah, blah. There was a lot of other stuff in there. And yeah, just a lot of just stuff in there. But Cramer got it wrong. I'm sorry, man. You don't make like bold-faced accusations like this. Are you the sketchy one? Maybe you're the sketchy one. Dude, pretty much I'm a 99.99x% sure that the SEC is sketchy, okay? You're going to be on the losing side of the argument on this one, Jim Cramer. And I love him and he's entertaining, but sorry, man. Sometimes you got to punch him in the mouth.
Was this, hey, yeah, there we go. Chip, was this what he looked like?
Oh, he's someone to watch. I love Jim Cramer. I mean, but I just thought sometimes he just, and he probably was doing that like, maybe he was like goofing around or kidding or something, but I don't know. I just felt it to be a little too, I don't know, a little bit off. But Jeff, when do we broadcast, by the way?
We broadcast 6 days a week.
You're damn right. We do.
Sunday through Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're brand new here to On the Chain and you like the content, you know what you guys need to do? You need to take a moment and you got to reflect. You then have to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, and give the show a thumbs up. Why? Because that is what helps the algorithms kind of percolate within the Google Marxist regime over there on how they promote us. Now, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, bell notifier. That's all good content right there. And guess what? If you guys are here and the first time here, and you're the regulars, the one thing, if you're brand new here, you have to realize that we have by far the smartest people here tuning in to On the Chain in all of crypto YouTube history. So all the intelligent crypto followers flock here every evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And guess what? Tomorrow night, we've got Bad Crypto.
We got the Bad Crypto boys. Super excited about that.
It's going to be awesome. These guys run a podcast. They're outstanding. Both Chip and I don't know. It seems like it was like 2 years ago. I don't remember exactly when it was, but it was within the past. We're each on. They did, what was it, their 300th episode?
300th fan appreciation episode, and you and I appeared differently. If you guys want to go look at that, you can listen to it. But Jeff and I were on there separately. That was right before we launched On the Chain. So it's going to be great to have Travis on the right and then Joel on the left. Love these guys. Look up to them. I'm a big fan, as Jeff is, of their podcast. And they will be right here on the chain, reciprocating. They're happy enough and cool enough to come on the chain. We're going to talk NFTs. We are going to talk Bitcoin. We're going to talk shit coins, as they call them. We're going to call them XRP. And guys, I tell you, one of the best interviews that I've seen anyone do with David Schwartz. These guys made an interview with David Schwartz, not only funny, because they goof around a lot. Yeah, they goof around way more than Jeff and I do, but also love their perspective too. They're pretty much in the vein of a lot of the things we talk about and the way we position stuff. So it's be a great fit. We're all gonna sit here. We're gonna have a little fun tomorrow night. So guys, a lot of fun.
And guess what? Until that time, Chip, it'll be tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We look forward to seeing you all back here
on the chain.
Here, on the chain.
See you on the next one. Bye, guys.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.